Beans, we should name him Beans. Why? Beans the Walrus, everybody! Welcome to Beans the Walrus Show! It sounds like a weird Barney ripoff. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. It is, in fact, time for some viewer games. We have a whole lot on deck, and I'm pretty excited. We had the patch broke a whole bunch from the last set, but we still managed to get a ton of games in, and since then, even though we cleared out the whole queue, there's another 20 plus ready to go, so let's jump into it. What's going on, chat? How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody is having a good end of their weekend or beginning of their week if you're living in the future. We'll see how tonight goes. There are, in fact, a lot of games. There are a lot of games. We're not going to get through all of them. They're just too many. But we'll get through as many as we can. We did do a bunch of game reviews over the last couple streams because people had burned some points. But we're going to take a peek at what these are. So, let's get to it, chat. Now, before we actually jump into everything, I, of course, have to let everybody know that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, of course, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. Just wanted to let everybody know what the story is before we get into things, but let's get to it. All right, first game up, our hero here on Biff's room in the blue trunks, I don't know what the hell I was about to say. I think Lucasius, but that's not even close. Kratosss. Is Kratosss? No, that's not how you say their name. You're gonna have to correct me on how to say your name. I'm having, like, a really... I'm not, like, tired, but I am just... My brain is not functioning. It's been a really stressful last 72 hours or so, so I'm very much, like, not there right now. Get a little, Zorro movement with the cat here. Like, I don't know what that move was, but sure. Anyway, the notes here are: tried the 1-1 Hydra strat on Biff's room. Don't know if this is how to play it, but it worked anyway. Well, we can, in fact, see the early Hydra coming down. What's going on, chat? How's everybody doing? Pigeon, Urk, Orzius, DT, just random. What's good? What's good? Steven, welcome, everybody. Yeah, we do get the early Hydra. We get the 1-1. Do we have enough damage here to snipe said cassowary? I'm going to go with yes, because guess what? Everybody's favorite spicy meatball. Bye-bye, cassowary. Now, I will say I don't like this. The reason I don't like this is you do need to get this Hydra up and on your opponent. Like, up in their face ASAP. Yeah, you're taking damage, but... And yes, you were removing things, but you really do need this to... It's got to get in there ASAP. Even though it would have left the Contortio on the board. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. Maybe this is okay. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I don't know about exposing this Murder Wing, but of course you would trade the Murder Wing for the Gin Sting, so as I'm saying, I don't know. It's realistically fine. Bad guy in retreat mode. So now you have pretty strong control of the board. 6 keys to 6 keys. What are we going to do here? Now, in the past, when we've seen this strategy, DT in particular, DT kind of championing this for the most part, what would end up happening is DT's opponents would respond to the Hydra with Glob. So therefore, Repeller would come into the mix because, hey, you Glob, you boop, dislodge the Glob. However... Or just never let it connect, for that matter. However, here, in this case, bad guy's electing to go for Erratic. Baba Yaga being pretty aggressive here. Now, I do like the Clinico follow-up. Bad guy can put a hurt on the Hydra, but they can't really threaten it too much. And given the body block here with the cat, it means that the Erratic also cannot appropriately get into position, and by the time it does, it's going to walk into 1, maybe 2 more traps. Slayer as the response seems odd. The fact that this cat lived is a big deal. It also didn't even get attacked because the Erratic chose to just completely reposition. That means that it's, once again, a triple panic point. You're going to have the setup here. Now, the Baba Yaga positioning is a little suspect. The reason is clearly they can kill this and then Jinsting can at least get a free shot, but this is a lot of pressure on bad guys. 7 keys to 8 remaining. See, like, I don't... Doom. Okay. Sure, I guess. Probably what the hell is happening to the Slayer there? That thing was glitching out. Flesh Crawler is the final phobie. Who was talking about that last night? This feels like a fairly overextended Baba Yaga, but I don't know that there's actually enough damage to kill this. We're gonna... this is probably enough. I love how Doom can't even see the traps that are there. Yeah. I was gonna bring that up, and I second-guessed myself, because I'm like, wait, can Doom see over walls? And in my head, I'm thinking, I don't know that I care. I don't know that it really matters. Now we have a Hydra standing on bad guy's heart, knocking on the door. This game is absolutely over. Yeah... Hey, W's, what's good? Yeah, I don't know that this is necessarily like, oh, this is the ideal setup for this particular strategy, but clearly it's get the Hydra on board, bully them, and that's pretty much what happened. I was about to say that's not even enough damage to kill the Murder Wing, but it's barely enough thanks to bees. But you know what's not enough? The damage to kill this Hydra... Yeah, buddy. That Hydra's hungry. Oh, by the way, tentacles. Tentacles. Got him. GG. Yeah, I like the Hydra strat. Maybe it's a pocket strat for just this map, but I think it can work on Red Rum and a couple of others, so why not? Add it to the playbook. GG. Alright, coming at you. Hot and fast with a little Karst action. As part of the Dimensionals event, I only allowed myself to use Dimensionals. Brony involved. Alright, we do have a bad guy here, a returning, I want to say champion, but did Hyper Eat win a Fright Night? I have to go back and check my list. Maybe one of the early ones. I don't think so. But Hyper Eat, absolutely a very strong player, so we're going to see what Karst can do here. You hate this map? I actually don't mind this map. This one is way better than Xylo, for example. Like, Xylo, I think, is almost the once lore tier. Now that I have Akira, I just have something else to ruin people's day with, but I'm not excited about playing against tons of Akiras. That game, thankfully, knock on wood, that map hasn't been back for a while. Maybe we'll get lucky and they retired it. Bronies were probably hurt in the making of this replay. I don't know, it sounds like bad guys were hurt in the making of this replay. I'm excited for this game. Was this the one that you said you saw offline, DT? Gargles! Alright. You know, to be honest, I don't hate the opener here from Karst. I'm not a huge fan of the stabby on this map, but I don't hate it. Boss is the answer from Hyper Eat. I mean, yeah, sure. Seems reasonable. Seems reasonable. Little Scritch action. When you can't have Gonzo, why not Creepy Hand? Which notably, so I asked this the other day, Scritch does only have 3 fingers and a thumb. Not a full hand. I don't think it cures it, Orzeus, if Gargles turns into a statue. I don't think it cures disease or poison, but it does not take the damage. So, like, the poison will tick and can fall off, I believe, but disease will still be there. So we get the dreaded Gonzo boss. But Panic Point advantage for the moment, and the one key has been preserved, meaning that Hyper Eat bad guy is going to have to get a lot of mileage out of what they already have on the board, or just eat a bunch more heart damage. Now, obviously, removing the Vatula is trivial, but this still yields a 3-2 panic point advantage. Honestly, Karst was kind of in better shape leaving it as 3-1, like leaving this empty. Then, if bad guy goes in, you kill their 1 key, reclaim. But obviously, they supplement with their own Batulas, so it doesn't really matter. That's right, I've had Poison Ticking expiring on Gargles while it didn't take the damage. Yep. But in fact, we do get the Gargles here and Akira. So here's the thing about all Dimensionals. You always have the big old dummy card of Akira. Although, I mean, I guess it's not the fairest way to phrase it, because, like, Akira, we were talking about this the other night. I don't think Akira is as difficult to utilize as people say, but it's certainly more difficult than a lot of other people are leading everyone to believe. I know that's kind of difficult to follow, but basically, I kind of fall in the middle. I kind of fall in the middle for the complexity, because, yeah, sometimes you just go, oops, I win with Akira, and then other times your opponent really is playing around all of the different yoinks that could happen. Oh, for a second, I thought this was going to be a yoinks, and I'm like, that's not valuable. But we get the quick pick here on Bachelor, remaining panic point advantage, but it's going to continue pressuring. You're level 82, so you're getting close to Akira. You're gonna be having fun once you get it. What's the best type of phobia? I assume you mean like the 4 phobie species. I would probably say dimensional. But it depends on what the criteria is. If we're comparing, like, what the passives and stuff are, or are we comparing, like, which type has the most powerful phobies, like, quantity-wise, the most powerful phobies? I think in both cases, Dimensional probably has it, but... You know what's funny is we've been watching this, and after the early game, and by early game I mean like the real early game, most of the stuff Karst has put on the board hasn't been bad. Although they did lie a little bit. There was a single cowbell. So not 100% Dimensionals. You liar! The Bwom. Down goes Gargles, sacrifices their life for the team. Are we going to get a Savage Yoinks here? Because, oh, here's the other funny thing. Like, you can Yoinks here, and then probably Brony most, if not all, of their team, right? So one issue here is that you will, like, the Smiley's going to connect with a bunch of stuff, right? Oh, all right. This is actually hilarious. So what has been turned off? The Gonzo is the only thing from Bad Guy that has not been turned off. 1 key remaining. There's a Scritch right next to the heart. Panic point advantage, and it also cannot be relinquished. It can't be relinquished. Why? Because those phobies can't die. They just literally can't die. So Smiley is going to have to get this done. I kind of feel as though this Rambolina... I mean, I get what was happening here to push off the panic point here, which yeah, that probably makes sense. I was going to say maybe you have to come up here to boop the Scritch to try and get rid of it. But if you stay at a 5-0 panic point advantage, you're just going to die way too quickly. This was very well played, Karst. I mean, obviously Akira involved, but it did beat Gonzo Boss. The beauty came out. it really didn't feel like bad guy had a lot of opportunities to pressure at any point. This was very well played Brony to just kind of lock your opponent out of the game. Like, this is pretty good. By pretty good, I mean very good. The Rambolina was a good response from bad guy, but there just isn't enough for bad guy to do. And there just aren't enough options. The Akira means that the Brony just ruins your day, right? Oh, man. I am not looking forward to fighting Akira Brony, chat. I mean, that is 16 keys, but we played 16 key strategies before, or 15 key strategies before, and one where you turn off their entire team seems pretty good, right? I think that seems pretty good. I'm not an expert. GG. Getting a little switcher U action here. Well, maybe. We'll see. But switching around the games here for our hero, Urk. An example of successful gargles and chuck strategy on Rush Hour. All right. We did try this out once last night at Urk's suggestion. So shout out to Urk. By the way, shout out to Bad Guy with the Bad Omen avatar. I like the potential for this build. I think it's going to be extremely irritating to fight, but it is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. On its surface, I kind of feel like it should not do well. Why do I say that? Because it feels as though your opponent can play back on this map, eat one panic point worth of damage for a few turns, blow up the gargles, and then your entire setup is hosed. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Scritch just feels like a frail but more mobile Gonzo. That's because that's it. Is exactly what it is. Hey, Kratosss, what's good? Yeah, W's, if we get to it, we'll get to take a peek. So, bad guy here. A very interesting opener. Oh, I guess it's not that interesting. Just going into Hevo is like, alright, that's fine. Our hero here willing to sacrifice the Boomer, which I don't know if that was absolutely necessary, but it does yield an early Chuck, given the way the keys worked out. So it was probably, you didn't necessarily have to sacrifice the one key, but you were stuck going with very little board presence early on. That's a fair point, DT. Sheep as the response to Chuck. I don't hate it. I don't hate it just because, well, Chuck and Erratic have similar ranges just because Erratic can chain. Alright, I'm going to assume that the Raucous is just due to the event as opposed to any other phobie, but this is a lot of HP to chew through. Point being is that Hevo is trapped. Which is actually kind of funny when you think about it. Like, that's actually kind of hilarious. You're going to trade the Raucous out, but you probably get both of these. Oh yeah, that Hevo's dead. This is a good heads-up play. Like, a real solid heads-up play from Urk here. Because, oh, by the way, Raucous is AoE damage. That's unfortunate that that was necessary, but obviously was. By the way, Sedimentary or whatever it's called. No yoink. Surprise, they're all dead. So, yes, Klepto can do some stuff. Yes, the Spider could hypothetically do some stuff, but we'll have to see how Bad Guy responds. Getting the old body blockage here, so that way Chuck doesn't get yoinked into said sheep. See, these are the kind of plays, when I had tried this out last night, it was the first time I played this particular strategy, so it's very much, you're feeling it out, you're learning what the ins and outs of it are. Urk clearly has this down to a science and knows exactly which pieces you need where and when. So we all got to take some notes here. So... No, there's no way. I was going to say, bad guy has an opportunity to try and get the Chuck, but you can't get the Chuck because it requires a spider yoink. You can't get the Chuck and get the sheep to connect due to the positioning. Obviously, they had to back off because otherwise if the sheep was here, it was vulnerable to Chuck, and you get the idea. Now, our hero is under some pressure. Under halfway for the health. On the heart, that is. This doesn't change anything other than letting that sheep heal, I guess. But now they're locked out, and this is a fairly safe Chuck. Because notably, bad guy cannot fight through or terraform or anything the gargoyle statue, but our hero can move through it and shoot through it. You have your opponent use their final 6 keys on Cerberus versus a glob on the board. I don't think that's going to work out for them. Oh, you can't move through it. Okay, so you can shoot through it. That I know for sure. I thought you could move through your own gargoyles as well, but I guess not. Hey, Big She, what's good? Little slap action. 2 keys remaining for bad guy, 5 for our hero, but Oopsie Baby on the board, which I do like as a potential boss counter. Yeah, Urk is showing how this strategy is supposed to go down. Now, the panic point advantage is in our hero's favor, but it's been, as mentioned earlier, in bad guy's favor for a long time, so we're not exactly, you know, it's still an uphill battle at this stage. As you can see, we're only just past the halfway point. The big old power down onto the boss. 40 damage. 0 on your fired. LOL. LOL. Laughing out loud. In case anybody was unaware what that particular acronym meant. Just saying. How to counter boss. Honestly, like, I've talked about this before, but the big AoE phobies, such as Boss, Hevo 3.0, I mean, even Klepto to a degree, that sort of thing, do kind of get kicked in the dick by power down phobies. I don't think this is going to work out the way you want it to, bad guy. Boss Baby the movie looks different? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Alright, so Chuck is escaping its inevitable demise for a period of time, but what is Urk going to focus here? Now, this is what I was saying at the beginning of this game, where on its surface, this strategy should fold from this point forward. The reason being is that bad guy has a big life advantage. They just have to, like, not lose. Namely, lose the spider, but obviously they're going to here. Because the gargoyles is gone, so you don't have as powerful of a frontline wall to protect the Chuck. But now you do have Oopsie Baby online, which represents 2 things. 1, a long-range threat, damage-wise. And then 2, a long-range threat for power down. Yeah, you're not going to be able to keep the boss permanently deactivated, but it's going to be pretty close. I'm testing some frenemy matches, Wooly Bully. It's very useful to turn off one thing. I agree. Yeah, boss is just hiding out in the corner until the situation improves. But bad guy's out of keys, as is our hero. But I mean, look at this boss. This boss got the living daylights kicked out of it. It's also going to take time for it to even get into position. So, like, this Chuck here means that this is a dead boss if boss ever decides to get involved again. Bad guy's only hope at this stage is to connect with the sheep and then hope they have enough time for sheep to somehow kill Chuck. And then you re-engage and blow up the Oopsie. Like, you have to blow up multiple big things. Yeah, we were talking about the 16-key play earlier of Brony and Akira. But we have a different 16 key play here that seems pretty good as well. It seems all right. This is exactly why what I did yesterday when I ran this particular strategy didn't work. Urk's Phobies in this particular lineup are way more proactive. They can get in and do something much more readily than I could have. The position I was in did not allow me to truly engage my opponent because of the rest of my team. However, Urk can just kind of blow them up at will. Down goes Boss. What's Sheeping Gas doing? Hail Mary. The goal here, I assume, with Sheeping Gas was to try and push damage on the heart or try and split Urk's forces. The problem here is, yeah. If I didn't already have a Chuck thumbnail out there, like this one's kind of wild. Actually, do I have a Chuck thumbnail? I mean, this is just gross. Graphic. But yeah, I think the sheep was on a Hail Mary mission. You are going to get the fart explosion, which, power down or not, that's still a lot of poison. However, the Chuck may be able to just leech enough life from the sheep to ignore the poison, and the Daisy's obviously not going to die. Now, admittedly, Bad Guy is making this close, given what is left on the board. But it's still 2 Phobies to 4, one of which is going to take a lot of effort to die. Oh, by the way, it's 1 Phobie to 4. I'm not exactly a mathematician, a mathologist, if you will. But, minus 1 Phobie seems bad here, right? Chuck just... the relentless march. The jar running for its life. The jar honorably understanding the situation. GG. Fair enough. Seems good. Gargles. Gargles, everyone. All right, Rossarius is our hero on deck. Oh, really up to bat. Not really on deck. Vile Vortis number 11. What do we got for notes here, chat? I tried to make work of our favorite Sharko whale, but I can't really find a way to kidnap enemy Phobie. Do you have any tips for Wuffalo? We got a little Wuffalo Will action coming at you, chat. Rossarius, this guy is new in the review? I don't think so. I think we've done Rossarius games before. I could be wrong. Hope my first season pack reward is good. I hope so as well. I hope you get something awesome. Got exactly 168 games done. Had to do 11 games today. Whew. A lot of games to run, to like chain run. What does Tilt do? If you have to ask, you can't afford it. So what do we got here? Actually, weird openers by both players. Snowball into Stabby into Crushmore. Okay. And then Snowball into Crushmore, as opposed to the more traditional Snowball Cassowary. I don't know. This is a little weird. Alright, Big She. Little, Steve's action. We haven't seen a Steve's in a while, chat. Hakune was always pushing it, but we haven't seen Steve's in some time. Jeeves plus Wuffalo, this could be very funny. This could be very funny. By the way, the Octonaughty avatar here. It's Jeeves. Jeans. Wait, is that how you pronounce it? No. Steve's is just a nickname that we've given to it. I don't remember why. I feel like somebody at some point called Jeeves just Steven. And then it suddenly morphed into Steve's. Beans, we should name him Beans. Why? Beans the Walrus, everybody! Welcome to Beans the Walrus Show! It sounds like a weird Barney ripoff. Crushmore looks like a Josh? What? Sure. We got the Alistor stare down here. Apparently, DT's lowest level phobie, although that may not be true anymore. Rossarius absolutely hates every obstacle on this map, determined to annihilate every single one. Blue Barney showing us how to brush our teeth. Oh, man. Maybe we should get a little Steve's action, although I think we've had Steve's on the thumbnail as well. Theoretically, would an Alistor stare down last forever if they're on even level? It depends on the HP. Because, remember, one of them will get one hit, and then one gets 2 hits. So it just kind of depends. Graylien. Look, this is about as much support as you can possibly get for Wuffalo. Like, seriously, Graylien into Wuffalo should be like, take your phobie, right? Firkin on the Graylien. I was just double checking the notes because, like, how much does Wuffalo cost? It's a lot, right? Bad guy just hates fun, apparently. Firkin Leapercarn is, in fact, Captain No Fun. Wuffalo 7? Fair. That makes sense, I guess. This is pretty good bait. Encouraging the boss to come in. The move animation for Wuffalo is just unsettling. Just absolutely unsettling on that Wuffalo. Also, notably, since we were talking about underwater phobies the other night, Wuffalo does have spots. You heard it here first, folks. Also, when Wuffalo, like, scratches his head like that, does the entire whale skin... What the... Chat, this feels like it should be the thumbnail just from, like, the sheer quantity of things that are happening here. Like, this feels like it should... Like, look at all the things. There's things everywhere. Ultra rare gaming? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Noxious! Jesus, good lord. Look at this. Like, look at this board. Also, this is kind of cool because we caught the Graylien mid-teleport. I might use this as the thumbnail and just put, like, a random phobie up there. Like, one that's not even on there. Wuffalo Will is unsettling in that idle animation. Yeah, it's real uncomfortable. Everyone has skills to use. They have all the buttons. Press the buttons, even the big red one. All the buttons! Seems irrelevant, but I guess it's fine. Except Alistor? True. True. And I guess Stabby as well. So this is pretty solid bait here. This is still on cooldown. Yeah, Firkin has a plethora of options. Wow, breaking the top one. Alright, so you can get the fireball hit. Fair. Okay, so real talk. All right, that works. I want to see how this turn plays out, and then we'll pause and see where this goes. This is a lot of freaking freeze traps, chat. Okay, here's the question, chat. Would it have been worth Graylioning the boss here? So, like, you go here, you Graylian swap, you Wuffalo. Then you can claim this point. Then it's like, what do they do? I don't even know that they can kill the Graylian, 2,300? So that's 12, 22, 27? So they can kill the Graylian, but a bunch of stuff will be out of position, and you have their boss. And then you can leave the boss on the trap, so when you hand it back, it'll be frozen. Like, I think you steal the boss here, or at least steal it, like the Yeti, something, whatever. Steal something. So tips for Wuffalo. Graylian. There you go. Yeah, I might literally just use that pause a little while ago and go ultra rare gaming. Wait, was the... Hold on. It's on cooldown. It's on cooldown. Oh, please. It's still on cooldown. That's why it didn't happen. I thought it was off cooldown. Honestly, just in general, the Graylien Wuffalo plan seems solid anyway. But of course, general tips, I don't have Wuffalo, and we haven't seen it that much, but I have to imagine that the best pairings for Wuffalo are going to be any yoinks that you have available. You can't really zone with it because it just doesn't have the range. Kind of disappointing. He's pretty boring. Oh, Hevo. Oh, you got Hevo 2.0. Is he? I guess you could qualify it as boring, but he's definitely powerful, so. Honestly, this isn't looking great for our hero here. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the poison plus fire, this Alistor's dead. The Stabby's dead. Crushmore's dead. Alright, never mind. Maybe we're okay. Maybe we're okay. The irony of ironies! How often does that happen? Who would have thought that would happen? I might just put Wuffalo on the cover again and go Ultra Rare Gaming as the thumbnail. Because whenever I put something like that on how to counter ice, it's like fighting fire with fire, right? You just fight ice with ice. That's how it works. You got Grimes? Grats! Welcome to Club Grimy. DT, what is this, like 10 seasons in a row getting Ultra Rares? Yeah, Steve's is frozen. Finally got Pterodactyl? Nice! See, chat, it's that end-of-season luck hanging out in the Random's Thoughts Twitch channel. 6 times in a row with a new Ultra Rare. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty wild. Bad guy being whittled down. Boss, sorry, you're apparently no match for Alistor or the rest of these insidious phobies. But yeah, that's a dead boss. Well played there, Rossarius. As far as Wuffalo goes, like I said, we haven't seen it too much. So I can't really recommend, oh, well, this is what name a high-level player always does to make Wuffalo work. But I feel like you have to pair it, like, Graylien seems like a good idea, and I think it has to be paired with other yoinks maybe not all of them, but like, I hate to say it, but like Akira's probably pretty good. You get a free move out of the Akira pulling your will forward, their guy closer, then you can move up, and also another 16 key combo. But it is what it is. GG. DeadlyPigeon, everyone. DeadlyPigeon. Alfred Hitchcock fan, I guess? Maybe? We'll see. DeadlyPigeon, our hero here. This game felt kind of like a fever dream. Doesn't every Phobies game feel like a fever dream when you really think about it? When you really think about it. Gonna open mine? Maybe. We'll see. I honestly, the last few seasons, I forget about the, because I'll be doing game reviews and then I forget about the seasonal pack and I open it the next day. You're always in a fever dream? You may want to see a doctor. I'm not a medical professional, but if you're always in a fever dream, you may want to get that checked out. I don't know. Just saying. You got a unicorn? Nice. Grats, W's. Pretty good. So we have a unique opener here out of our hero. Quagmire into 1 key. That's not actually something that you see very often, truth be told. Most of the time on this map, it is a combination of snowballs or murder wings or other more mobile phobies. I mean, not that Quagmire is very slow, but like mobile things to try and contest the different spots. But I do like the Quagmire because it can just walk up to the center and it's like, all right, I'm poisoned. Whatever, who cares? Noxious is the response from Bad Guy. You should be excited. Unicorn is a big deal. There's a reason that it is at the top of a lot of people's nerf lists. Unicorn seems... It doesn't seem too threatening, but it absolutely can ruin your dreams. Got Dr. Dermick. Womp wah. Few pot shots going down. Well, a pot shot coming down from the Hevo. Noxious, thanks to the flying. By the way, currently probably the Random's Thoughts Phobies mascot, right? It's got the appropriate colors. It's a dragon, which is kind of like a T-Rex. Kind of, sort of. We need an undead T-Rex phobie chat, and that will become the unofficial Random's Thoughts Phobies mascot. Quagmire getting the snot beat out of it, ironically, although truthfully it probably could have stayed there. So what I think you could have done is you slap here, you slap here. Yeah, you slap here, you hit this with the Hevo and then walk back. And then you have the Quagmire here. It can't die to these two. These can actually do a lot of damage. But it wouldn't kill it, and then you'd remove this thing from the board. I think a T-Rex undead base phobia would be so cool. It would look pretty dope. Like, I legitimately think it would be, aside from my own selfish reasons, I think it would be really cool. We already have a precedent in Pterodactyl and, to a degree, Daisy, just general prehistoric creatures, so why not? An undead Barzilla who pukes poison is the main attack, and Chunky is Monster Barzilla. I don't know if it could be that thick. I would expect it to, if it's going to be like a skeletal as opposed to zombified T-Rex, I think it would have to have Resurrect, which would then obviously incur a penalty on its hit points, right? Get a quick pick on the Hevo. Oh no! The Hevo lives! No, not like this! Oh, not like this. That's how we say in the business, kinda bad. Like, that's not good. Now, our hero will get some decent retaliation. I'm sorry, my nose is, like, really itchy. I don't know what just happened there. And our hero is seemingly taking a beating on their heart. Well, I guess it's not that bad. It is a big map. Why not just kill that with the cowbell? Put more damage here. I guess you can probably get it anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I guess this is better because then the cowbell takes the middle point. I don't know. Mr. Tramples doesn't actually move. Interesting. That's a bold move there, Cotton. Imagine how much better of a situation our hero would be in if they could have just simply killed the Hevo. Like, just remove that guy from the board. Not quite enough damage out of bad guy in order to kill Mr. Tramples. Powering through the Stairmaster. I mean, the Stairmaster's toast. The question is, can you get the Ray? Which I don't think you can. There might have been a way to get the Ray. So you charge through. You zap it, right? I just want to see this again. Yeah, you could have got the Ray. Because this could have killed Stairmaster, then you kill the Ray, and then you have these 4 trapping this, as opposed to leaving the Ray on the board. Lots of birds? True. Well, formerly. I guess there's still several winged beasts. Six keys to 5. Our hero is in a pretty decent position. Until this Klepto goes down. What? Bad guy couldn't kill the Klepto. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. A little hydrate action. So that should be a dead Noxious. Yep. Got him. Bye-bye, buddy. Not enough to kill the Pterodactyl, which means it can turret a little bit and leech some life. But bad guys out of keys, fetch on the board. Piscetti is fine, I guess. Undead, so especially here, the disease will eventually be lethal. This got messy, like straight up Mortal Kombat Coliseum here in the center for several turns. Definitely felt like our hero could have had a cleaner game in order to just eliminate bad guy more quickly, but ultimately they're going to take it down anyway, barring catastrophe. Down goes Ray. Oh, by the way, Piscetti. Little spaghetti action. Got him. Sorry, good boy. You got worms. I wanted Piscetti, but I guess Unicorn is fine anyways. You should be much happier with the Unicorn than Piscetti. Piscetti is not a great phobie, in my opinion. I know there are people who swear by it, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't know what's happening right now. There's like a million phobies moving when you could just do that and slap the crap out of them. GG. Well done. Well played. Next up, Kif Halek. I tried the Motherload. The Motherload. The Motherload. Coming to theaters summer 2025. I don't know why it was a movie, but it sounds like The Motherload sounds like either a heist movie or an 80s action movie. What do you think, chat? It sounds like an Ocean's 11 ripoff. Bad guy banking to 8. What are you putting out for 8? What? That's a turn 2 Russell. Russell! I mean, you can Russell, but like... Here's where our hero just goes... Clinico. Muffin. Get wrecked. Because, like, you don't even really need to. I mean, I guess you do. You have 2 Phobies. These are worth preserving. You can get further value out of this. And you have an eternity to then follow up with mechs or whatever in order to kill the Russell again. When we first saw Russell, like, way back when, obviously, it was in the base set. You know, it's not a stress phobie, but it's an ultra rare, so it wasn't very common. We were theory crafting before I got it that you could go early Russell, push your opponent into mechanicals, because they're like, oh, well, you have a Russell on the board. I'm going to go mechanical so they don't get poisoned. And then you respond with Russell into a ton of electrical phobies, and just like, okay, I'm going to light up your team. If you put non-mechs on the board, I poison them. If you put mechs on the board, I'll just kill them. That has yet to work out. It's pretty much always Russell has to be... Your opponent has maxed out. They can't reasonably poison. Or cure poison, rather. So then you let the poison tick, and then you blow up their team and get a big tempo advantage. But it appears that bad guy does, in fact, want to do the let's beat up mechanicals plan. It's a bold move, Cotton. Sparky moment? Yep. Wooly bully! You love to see it with his little duck feet. You got these little duck feet. I remember trying to make Russell work, then we found out that Russell is an N-phobie. Yeah, that's kind of, like, I appreciate the attempt here. Don't get me wrong. Like, shout out to bad guy. But, by the way, they put it out on, what, like, turn 2? They only cawed now 3 turns later. They could have done it then and reactivated it next turn. It's been that long. And ultimately, like, what did they poison here? The snowball? Alright, you got snowball. You got me. For Russell, you need to follow some rules before throwing him. I think most phobies are like that. And that's like a general thing that there are multiple schools of thought for game design, and one of them is to lean into everything is more situational. And I know Karst has talked about in the past how they are more, Karstocles is more comfortable with generally useful but situationally great. There is another reasonable way to go where no, everything is just mostly situational and they are generally kind of weak across the board, so that you lean into certain strategies because then it encourages more unique game plans. The problem is, yeah, and I'm getting to the WTF moment, don't worry. The problem is that can lead to super linear things where, oops, what is happening? What the hell is happening? Russell! You know, chat, I'm trying to explain some esoteric philosophies of game design, and all of a sudden we have a Russell stare down. Yeah, this could have been for the event. I don't, when was this submitted? 8/17, so 3 days ago. So that is right in the throes of the event. The dimensional event. Russell. Get rustled. Power down on the Cyclops. 2 turns on this poison. Notably, the poison on Wooly Bully didn't get cured. Bad guy's in for a bad time at this stage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Phobies. So they can get a healer out if they really want to. Rustling the Russell. Never thought I'd see that. Yeah, it's a bold move. We did have one game where I think somebody was kind of challenging me to do that to them, to respond to their Russell with Russell, but we didn't do it, I don't think. The bad guy uses Blue Liam, we'll have a problem for them thanks to Charon. Yeah. Could make life complicated. It probably won't be that bad, but they instead go Clinico Muffin. And boom is the final Phobie. This is not a bad mother load right now, chat. Russell tornado action into a mother load. Yeah, that's a dead fetch. Now, admittedly, this isn't great unless does this have a power down available? It does not. But our hero's Russell is full health, so it should be able to eliminate these. And Motherload does have like a gazillion HP. Boom died for nothing. Pour one out for Onda. Heal onto the Cyclops. All right. Why did this, like, explode? Is that the normal death animation? Wait, did this get hit by, like, a Motherload attack? And no, it couldn't have. I just want to watch the Charon here. It didn't do it that time. Weird. Oh, the big sheep explosion! Get slapped, Clinico. Bonk. Oh, look at this. That's a thing of beauty right there. Got him. Not quite enough to finish the game out this turn, but you know. You know. GG. Well played. Pretty wild. The Russell response to Russell. Yeah, the AoE value. How often do you see a Russell getting multiple melee hits? Like, that just doesn't happen. Also, the zero fear Motherload just walks right up to Sparky and says, come at me, bro. GG. Next up, we got mushrylama. I'm gonna guess Mushry's alt? Question mark? Let me know down in the comments. Really close game. Also, Graylian usage. We do love us some other Graylian gaming. All right, timeout. So, DT, I don't know if you're in chat, but DT is the grandfather of the droney play here on this map. And I don't know about sending it here. I feel like you just take the middle one, right? This is weird. What is happening? I think Sarcasm was just not the appropriate one key. That's fair, DT. That's fair. I think, like, Sarcasm would have been fine to send to the north if it was, like, virtually any other one key other than boom. I don't think starting with Sarcasm is inherently bad, but, like, this is a map that commonly sees turn 1 Murder Wings, right? And it would be in range because of where Murder Wing... Like, it just... you have to kind of expect that that's going to happen, right? Now, as far as the droney goes, I don't agree with the droney here. The droney should have gone to the center because you can take this, like, pocket panic point relatively safely. And even if your opponent wants to get cute and like, oh, well, I'll come in and snipe it, you can follow up or whatever. I don't know. Just doesn't seem worth it. We do get the Sockassin to connect with the Murder Wing, though. That's a lot of poison right there. Blinky spends a fortune on contacts, chat. That was more challenging to articulate than it typically is. As chat has pointed out in the past, very few Phobies look back at their team. But Blinky is always looking back at their team. Always checking out where they are, making sure they're okay. Panic point advantage, heavily in favor of bad guy here. Phobie quality, probably about even. Little bit in favor of bad guy, I guess. He's worried about him, it's true. Blinky is always looking out for you. Keep that in mind. The puns write themselves, chat. I'm a little surprised this droney is still alive. That it hasn't been sacrificed to cap a point or something. Blinky's watching you in her dreams. You think Innocuous is jealous of Blinky? What do you think, chat? Little Evo 2.0 action, that's fine. It's good on this map. It's good on this map. I mean, it's good on most maps, right? But here, I don't know if it's particularly going to excel, but it is allowing our hero to both... We've claimed the panic points back, and it's going to allow for additional pressure. Zappy, huh? That's a bold move, Cotton. Bad guy being pretty aggressive with this invade, but I don't know that our hero can punish it. They don't have anything to hit the snowball. And I don't think they have enough damage to kill this Quagmire. We're about to find out. Nope, just going to sacrifice the droney. Leaving the Blinky in range feels like a risk here. Although, bad guy's most likely going to retreat, right? Actually, they may be able to just pick this and walk away. Oh, that doesn't feel good. That seems less than stellar, I'm not going to lie. So the question becomes, can you snipe this or the Ray or both? Little Graylien action. Gonna Graylien the Snowball, alright. I mean, that's a safe pick. Repositioning here in order to claim the stim, fair enough. 2 keys remaining to 11. This is not a great position to be in as our hero here. 0 keys to 11. There's a lot of potential damage onto this Graylien coming in. And we don't have a healing spot. We don't have keys for healing Phobies. That being said, our hero does have the Switcher U on the board. They can't... Leela? That feels like overconfidence. That feels like overconfidence. Bad guy has a panic point advantage, and given they have keys and our hero does not, I imagine the thought process is simply, I just have to not lose. No, not enough damage. The Ray lives. The Ray lives. I am disappointed. What's my favorite one key? I don't know. Yeah, Baba Yaga is still a dimensional. We're looking for dimensional trappers. This looks horrendous for our hero. Although this could, is this a free Zappy? Wow. Okay, all of a sudden this looks the other way. Like, this looks pretty solid for our hero. Because they can kill, say, the Evo 2.0, I mean. But they're not going for it, and all of a sudden, bad guy's team sucks. Yeah, if you just sacrifice Phobies... If you just sacrifice Phobies, that's not going to end well. I can't believe this Graylian's still alive. You know it's not alive, that Jin Sting, though. Very well played, Mushy. Thought I saw the puppy coming down. Bad guy kind of at a loss for options here. Admittedly, they do have a 4-to-1 panic point advantage. It is possible for them to just push a bunch of panic point damage. The old switcher you. Never didn't have it. Yeah, bad guy incinerated a lot of keys. Like, a lot of keys. Panic point advantage going the other way. I don't know if people know this, but disease traps into mechs, it's not great. It's not great. Leela does get a takedown here. There is that. Of course, one trap connects with the Jin Sting, and our hero's team is beat up, but... How old's the dog? She is 9. She's still a puppy. She'll forever be a puppy. Jin Sting. Taking one for the team. This game didn't have to be this way. I just realized Leela has a similar sneeze animation like Maggie. Yeah, Maggie does have one. I didn't notice that Leela does. 5-0 panic point advantage. Bad guy. Has this Mopsy moved? This match feels familiar. Haven't we seen this one before? I don't think so. That Quagmire's been through hell. I mean, you're not wrong. I can't believe this comeback. I can't believe this comeback. This was absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers, chat. Honestly, I wonder if bad guy would have been better off just straight up sending the Quagmire to the stem and trying to sneak it there. Sure. I guess. $10.99. This isn't quite the game we had the other night where somebody was down to 1 health on the heart, but still. But still. It's just absolutely wild, chat. This is absolutely wild. I can't believe that comeback. Like, that's actually stunning. Like, jaw-dropping. Because that was an enormous disadvantage to come back from. Well played. Bean of Evil. Vilevort is number 11. Fish Tank and Werewolf Heart Rush. What? Why is that a sentence? Those are words, but why are they in the same sentence in that order? Yeah, Moru, let's get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. Check the Twitch name. Not everybody puts the Twitch name in there. But yes, it is Mushry. Same Twitch name, so we're the same person. We're safe. We're safe. Jeeves equaled beans. You're really trying to make that happen, aren't you, Big She? I don't know if that's going to happen. Oh, we get it, chat. The triple puppy. And they said it couldn't be done. They said it couldn't be done. Wolf Gaming is right. Wolf Gaming is right. Oh, there's no flavor text on either of them. Disappoint. I am disappoint. Just checking the spreadsheet. Well, Daisy's, I think, supposed to be a saber-toothed cat. So, pseudo-household pets? I don't know, like, that sounds weird. Also, it would have only been a pentapuppy, because then, even if they were dogs, we still only would have had 5 then. Unless bad guy also has werewolf. We're asking for a lot of hypotheticals to fall into place here. But if what we do have 5 of is panic points in our hero's favor, that's over at 1k damage. Please summon Cerberus. That would be hilarious. See, like, that would be a cool event. If, like, an event thing of just, like, you get points for summoning dogs or cats kind of thing. Because they said there are going to be new objectives in the most recent patch notes for, like, future events. So we'll have to see what they come up with. So after all said and done, that's a good chunk of damage with a lot of early board position. A lot of early board position and not the normal opener, for the most part. Hope those events include balance patches. We shall see. Based on what the devs have both said directly in the past and in kind of implied recently, it sounds like the game is in a decent spot balance-wise. I don't know. How many dogs can you have in one game? It depends on whether you count Slammerhead and Finnegan as honorary good boys. But K9000, Snowball, Werewolf, Fetch, what am I missing, Chad? Help me out. So if the wolf gets low HP in big form, then gets healed fast in small form, you get all that HP back when it transforms again? Yes. Yeah, Fetch is Cerberus, yes. But I can, yeah, Fetch is a dog. It's clearly implied to be a dog, right? Like, you play Fetch with a dog. Plus, it has the big lolling tongue and the drool and stuff. Like, I think it's supposed to be, like, a giant undead bulldog. No! The werewolf! Not like this. That's aggressive. You're going to trade out jars here. And possibly take a bunch of damage here. I appreciate the restraint, Big She. Look, a fish tank, that's another dog. I don't know about that one. Like, I'll stretch the definition for Slammerhead and Finnegan, because at least they're four-legged. And it's just kind of funny to consider them honorary good boys, but... I don't know about fish tank. Maybe if we consider fish tank a dogfish. Five of the last 10 going into Hevo. I know we're being weird now, chat. We're not really paying attention to the game, but Fish Tank is absolutely ready to turn Crushmore to smithereens. Everything is a dog? Well, dogfish is a fish. I'm not joking. Like, that's actually a fish. Hevo is a poodle. Alright, now we're getting weird. Honestly, bad guy's not in a terrible position here. Bad guy's not in a terrible position. They have a yoink. They have a tanky team. They have the range advantage. The lob advantage goes... Well, the lob advantage is actually in their favor also. Yep, breaking the wall. Kablamo. Good play here. Don't let him get pulled forward. For what that's worth. I mean, it's just going to die to the Evo anyway, but... It would be 2 K9, 2 Werewolves, 2 Snowball, 2 Fetch, and 2 for Cerberus for a total of 14. Wait, what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Why is it +6 for Cerberus, but only +2 for Snowball and Werewolf? I don't understand. Bone Dog? I assume you mean Daisy. Oh, you're counting the individual Cerberus heads as different dogs? Okay. I can get behind that. I can get behind that. We have the fish tank on the heart because why not? I do appreciate when people seize these opportunities. Oh, and by the way, the Snowball's body blocking, capping another point. Their names are Kratosss, Diablo, and Mr. Fluffy. Fair. Yeah, bad guy. Valiant attempt here, but, what level is this fish tank? Level 13 fish tank. Yeah, that's a cool and strong setup and positioning, bro. But, anyway, your heart. About that. Dog tank OP. True. The D-O-double-G? Yeah. Also a dog. Everyone, fish tank shit. Bean. Hold my beer. Well done, Bean. Bringing it back with the fish tank, like, or bringing it back to, not necessarily back as in a comeback, but bringing it back to fish tank. The terror of heebie-jeebies. GG, well played. Alright, Big She coming in big on Vile Vortis with generic gameplay. Womp wah. So you got sock acid? You have all the... Did you really want all the spiders? Was that the reason you wanted it, DT? I mean, honestly, I think sock acid is kind of unique and kind of cool. And also yet another example of my spreadsheet theory of Phobies game design. By the way, Big She, what the hell is this response? You love spiders and one keys? Do you really like spiders? You have like a pet tarantula? Is that what you're telling us? Seriously, Big She, what is it? What is this opener on this map? Why no snowball? Seriously. You got blue? Nice. Uh-oh. I think I know what Big She's about to do. Generic gameplay? Yeah, but like, this is not a generic. This has an ability. If you're going... do you mean generic gameplay as in vanillas? As in they have no abilities? Because this guy right here has an ability. Not to flex, but definitely to flex. Got Grimes. Nice. This is going to be Elgato Gaming? Maybe. Maybe. Henrietta is maybe the worst phobia I could get because I somehow have sock acid. Honestly, Henrietta is still good. I don't get unhappy about any one keys I get. They're always valuable. They're always valuable. Like, they are the foundation of your team. And the thing is that if you are close in level to somebody or you're playing at all level 1s, Fright Night, which I got to get the signups for that up, chat, because they are coming up quick. I'm going to try and do that this week, get it up on challenge. So hit up the Random Thoughts Discord for that. I got to get all the details over to the Phobies team so they can do an official announcement, but you heard it here first. Can't wait to do a Kira paddles a tractor blue. Okay. Henrietta got that HP. Sometimes I use it only for that reason. It's true. Henrietta is shockingly tanky for a mere spider, right? Yeah, as soon as you see Big She put... Yeah, like, come on. Come on! Everyone knew this was coming as soon as the Firkin hit the board. At first, I legitimately thought Big She was like, oh, this is just a generic game, and it was just like they were doing a weird opener as opposed to the snowball thing, which I still don't quite understand the Hevo opener, but whatever. But as soon as the Firkin hits the board, it's like, all right, we all know what's happening. What if we get a roach phobia that's hard? How funny would it be if we get a non-undead, like a monster phobia? It's a cockroach, and it has Resurrect. You just can't keep a good roach down. Either that, or the roach would have to be, like, werewolf. And it's a reference to the bug from Men in Black. What do you think, chat? Oh my god, there's a Yeti. It's about to get obliterated. Does this just die? It almost dies. It doesn't die, but almost. Barzilla as the response to Yeti. I actually love this. This is hilarious. If we were to count how many cats you can have in one game, for how many cats would Mildred count? 4. I have no idea. I would probably only count the ones that, well, I was going to say only count the ones that are different colors that are in the idle animation, which is probably like 3 or 4. But if you pause the screen, you could probably count all the cats. By the way, the dream team has been assembled. Lol, bad guy. Okay, in all seriousness, I do wonder if Smiley is not a bad answer to Mildred on a large map. On a small map, it's too easy for Mildred to connect, leech 70 billion HP, and survive. But I kind of feel like on a big map, there's the potential that you could disease it and then just walk really far away. And kind of wait it out. But I don't know if that's actually true. Obviously, Firkin is a preferred response, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Phobies at the moment. Bad guy could not get it online. Our hero, though, has taken a lot of hard health damage trying to get this assembled. Rip Yeti getting zoned by Goblin. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Nothing on Bad Guy's team is really safe right now, thanks to the paddles. Is that supposed to be Hevo 3 or Hevo 2.0? So, there's two things. One, I think Bad Guy really needed a yoink. Yeti is not the answer here. Not when they already have Firkin on the board. The cooldown is way too long. Two, if it's not a yoink, they need their own Firkin. Or maybe Firkin should be 1 and the yoink is number 2. But the point is, like, you need to... They're just letting this Akira, like, zone out their whole team. Now, admittedly, they are, air quotes, pushing damage here. Like, look at this. Just a quick pick there. Oh, yeah, Bad Guy's absolutely scared, and I can understand it. But, and the funny thing about Mildred is that the cooldown is very quick, or relatively quick. You can't just go, oh, they hit Mildred. It's not like Yeti. Oh, they froze something. I have time. If, you know, if you forget the frozen phobia, you do other stuff, you have a little bit of time. With Mildred, it's like, you give it too much time. Like, they kind of need to dive it right now. Why are you going double freeze? This cannot possibly be the... Like, one movers into Mildred feels like it's asking to be annihilated. Mildred is a siege weapon, right? So you don't want to just be super stationary and... I don't get it. Mildred is a shotgun? I think Mildred is more like an atom bomb. Like... I guess if we're going to compare Mildred to a shotgun, it's more like you're hunting flies in your house with a shotgun. They froze the fire so nothing can be unfrozen. I mean, sure, but like, you also walked your entire team into Mildred. Honestly, this kind of feels like Bad Guy goes, I can't win. Whatever, walk my team in. The thing is I've lost to Big She on ladder when Big She's gone Mildred, and I absolutely have tried a couple different things. One of the things that I think I just misplayed a few times, but works strategically, is big dummies, like Quagmire, Alligator, where it's like, yeah, you can do a ton of damage, but I'm going to heal it off. And I already have a gazillion HP to begin with, so I could tank it and then retaliate. Like, I could walk up to your team and then do stuff. The paddles, yep. But, like, Smiley hypothetically on a big map, but I'm not even sure that that's going to be great. Firkin to try and slow it down. You know, like, it comes down to phobie choice, I think. Never thought paddling a cowbell would be useful? Ayo. Oh, by the way. Barzilla. Lol. Boom explodes in their face. It means nothing. I really do feel like this came down to bad guys' phobie choices. Like, the Yeti, I absolutely understand the Yeti response. It's like, oh, well, they're all in on one thing. I'll just freeze that one thing and end the game. Except you can't because Big She knows to put Firkin on the board. Firkin was already there, already in position, and what are you going to do about that? You're going to lose. That's what you're going to do. I imagine, like, a Gonzo into something probably works against this also, because the Gonzo could hypothetically be far enough to juice something that could be a threat, but not be in range of the Firkin. Although, I am curious, has anybody gone paddle Smiley against you, Big She? Because I think that would be kind of funny. Like I said, I don't know that Smiley really does anything of value, but I think that would be kind of funny. GG. GG, well played. Prototype, back in action. Let me tell you one thing. Flesh Crawler was going all in for that game. All right, let's see. Flesh Crawler. What did he get from the season pack? I don't know. We didn't even open it. Remind me after this game, chat. I'll check the season pack. Or try to. I might have to reload the client. It doesn't stop displacement, it just damages the shield. Oh, because I thought it read that it blocks the effects. So I'm going to bounce that one, Steven, only because we do have, like, 20 plus games in the queue. So I just gave you your points back. Just because we have, like, over 20 games in the queue, so we definitely, like, we'll be doing extra, but there's still ones from the listing. Our hero getting early picks because bad guy does not respect, I guess. What stress level is this? Alright. All is forgiven. Because, like, this and 2 hits from here should just annihilate this Murder Wing, right? Everybody remembers these games, right? From your early days in Phobies. Think about if you went back in time, or, I mean, you could do it right now by creating an alt account, I guess, because a lot of people do, but... This jar is dead! Oh no. Chat. I don't really drink, chat, but, like, that makes me want to drink. And I feel bad. I feel bad because I don't want to make bad guy feel bad if they're watching this. I don't like to pick on bad guys in the games because it's like, yeah, it's funny. Oh no, you made bad plays or something bad happened. But, like, at the same time, how much value has this jar gotten? Real talk. This jar is just putting in work. Has bad guy even killed something yet? Oh, they did. Okay. I mean, still. This bad guy had 9 keys. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Bad guy had as many keys remaining as our hero had on the board. I think that says it all. Alright, I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember the last time I saw Finnegan kill 2 things in a game. Regardless, boops or not. Cowbell can't even kill the jar. Also, for the record, at low stress level games, Flesh Crawler kind of is a terror. It's very much like, how do I actually deal with that thing? Part of its skill level of, like, people just literally not having the knowledge of how do I kill this thing. Part of it is it may just overpower what they have available to them collection-wise. Also, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that bad guy thought they were winning this game. In all seriousness, I wouldn't be surprised if bad guy up to this point was like, no, I'm winning this game because I'm doing so much heart damage. The sheep is broken here. Too bad they only have 3 keys. This wouldn't look horrendous except... Well, it would still look horrendous. But I was going to say, except for the fact that our hero still has 6 keys available. Wow, that one-shot it. Huh. Tentacles! Yep. Oh, come on, Prototype. Why are you doing that to him? Why are you doing that to him? Noxious? I can forgive the tentacle monster. But Noxious? I don't know about that one. Oh, I don't mean it like it could be for Quest, but it just feels like... Alright, Noxious kind of puts them in a place where... Granted, they weren't going to win anyway, but you drop a Noxious on a low stress level player, and it just feels like you're shitting on them. Like, they probably have almost no healers, if any. It just feels super oppressive at that point in the game. But, GG. Alright, we do have somebody new to Viewer Game Breakdowns. Of course, if you want to get your own game here on the live stream, or on YouTube, if that's where you're watching it, hit up the Random Results Discord. Link for that is down in the description, where you can find the link to the live stream, and, of course, the like and subscribe button. I don't do a very good job of getting those in there. I did add lower thirds to the videos, but, yeah. So, our hero here is Chocapique. Chocapique? I don't actually know how to pronounce this, but they were hanging out in stream the other night, so shout out to them. I think I clutched with Mount Crushmore. Well, Mount Crushmore is kind of a machine on this map. So excited for my Hearthstone stream tomorrow. I was probably going to do StarCraft, I'm not going to lie. It is you! You are here. Welcome. I'm heavily considering SC2. I do a little co-op. I don't know. We'll see. I got to decide during the day. I have to get, like, a lot of work done. Tomorrow, like, I have an enormous amount of stuff. So what do we got here? We got a bad guy who's going alligator into... Well, jackalope into alligator and, like... I don't know. Sure. Whatever. Whatever. Barzilla! Everybody's favorite hungover lizard. I am of the opinion that Barzilla is not drunk. Barzilla is hungover. You can tell by the bags under the eyes, the burp, the general demeanor. I feel as though Barzilla is hungover, not drunk. That's just me. Well, if you need a partner, we might have something in the works. Maybe not. We'll figure it out. I'll explain later. That's a conversation for another time. 4-0 panic point advantage for our hero. By the way, the quick snipe down here, I don't know what bad guy was thinking. The dino's tired. He might be a little dehydrated. One could go so far as to say dehydrated. Also, for the record, hero, Chocapique, I personally love Crushmore on this map. I was joking around with it early on, but Crushmore is a terror on this map. I love getting it down here, locking things off, because you can block here and they can't get at you, and then you just lob, and lob, and lob. And if they try to defend, it does require such an enormous investment from your opponent to deflect the aggression there and the block that it puts them in a tough bind. It didn't sleep for 1,000 years. Think about how much stuff Godzilla has to eat, given how big it is, chat. What does Barzilla eat? Apparently it's just olives from martinis, but I don't think that's quite enough to provide enough calories. Stairmaster. I don't think our hero has any obvious picks. Ooh, going after the Cerberus. Alright, I can respect that. I do like the body block here. Make sure that the Stairmaster can't connect. We have 2 fish tank games tonight, chat. Double fish tank game. I do appreciate walking it all the way up here so that it can double punch this gator if the gator decides to hang out. This is a really difficult invade. Until the fish tank, bad guy could arguably just claim this with the gator and possibly walk away. But instead, they're going to have to settle for probably even panic points and no real way to deflect what's going on down here. At least not yet. And they are 39.90. It's getting kind of dicey. So they do take the safe play, except for just offering up gator meat? That guy's going to get turned into a damn belt. Why? Chocapique walking away with a complimentary set of boots, thanks to just pulverizing that gator. Like, I don't understand that one. You know, it would actually be really annoying if the idle animations had sounds, because it would just be a cacophony constantly. But it kind of feels like Baby Snakey should have a sound attached, right? It's literally waving a rattle in your face. That Cerberus did nothing. I'm pretty sure it did literally nothing. The beatdown here on the Stairmaster. You were desperate to kill the Cerberus? Honestly, I feel like you could have ignored it. You probably could have ignored it. It was not really in a threatening position, and because it's so slow, you'd have time to react to it. I can respect getting the threat off the board, don't get me wrong, but I like the earlier plays to pick the Cerberus, like just to poke at it and whittle it down. But I don't know that you needed to invade here. This was not a valuable trade. Like, you probably could have killed the fetch, and then if they come after you with the Cerberus and everything, then just kill it when it invades. Now, that being said, you're getting the block. The block here, locking everything out. Sheep, gonna live. I didn't even notice the gator sneak out here. 0 keys to 0 keys. I think you just go hard here with the jar. I don't think you need to hit the sheep. Although, admittedly, you're in such a commanding position at this stage that I don't know that it matters. You could probably do whatever the hell you feel like. But they're low enough on their heart that I think you could probably just go heart. So the difference between what you set up here with Crushmore, which I think was a good idea, as compared to what I normally do, I normally get the Crushmore block on, like, turn 3, where Barzilla is. And then it just segments this off. Because the difference is that Right now, obviously, that sheep still had a pathway to connect, or whatever's here, where the fish tank is right now, would have a pathway to connect. You know, they can still come around the top. But this kind of locks it off. Either one is fine. It just depends on the position. In the end, I didn't even feel like killing the last phobie. Yeah, you didn't even need to at this stage. Didn't even need to. Yep, this is exactly it. Just go claim the panic points. The jar can poke. They literally can't get at you. There's pretty much nothing they can do. Imagine phobia with both counter damage and regen. I don't want to. That doesn't seem like it would be very healthy. For the game, that is. Takedown on the Blinky. Quad panic points. I love Erratic, but he's not going the distance here. He's good. He's not quite that good. GG. Well played. Very well played. GG. Pretty textbook. Pretty textbook. Like I said, a few things to get cleaned up, but that was pretty well done. Gotta love an early hungover lizard. Yet again, another person new to Game Breakdown. So this is Potenzia 2. Potenzia? I don't know. We're just guessing at pronunciations here. So our hero is in the blue trunks. Opponent did some rather questionable plays, so I decided to use my high five for the first time. It is fun when your opponent just kind of like cooperates and they just let you do things. Here's a baby. So both players open up with Gravedigger, but bad guy is... I don't know what their plan is here. Like, are they going to try and block off? What is happening? You know, it'd be cute if they walked the Gravedigger to here and then blocked here, but the problem is like... Yeah, like... that doesn't do anything. You could swing the Gravedigger up here and block here. You know, I've seen this play before. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Also, by the way, turn 2 sheep on this map. I have questions. The primary one is why. Let's see how blue player plays with high five. I imagine it's going to go right to the heart. You know, I'm not an expert, but I think that's where it's going to go. Truth be told, I don't like the murder wing here. Not necessarily because it could die, but like the sheep can come in here and reclaim this point kind of for free. Not truly for free, but it feels like it could have gotten there pretty easy. Like, is this back up? I guess this is up, so... It still wouldn't have died, though. I don't think. 6, 9, 10, we'll say 11, 14. It would have been pretty close to dead, so I guess that wouldn't have been worth it. That wouldn't have been worth it. I guess they could have sent the Gravedigger and sacked that. I don't know. Point is, they could have possibly taken this. I think if the Murder Wing was here, it just prevents them from ever even thinking about it. And then you also have that on the stem, so then a break means that you can annihilate something if it comes in. Mildred! I'm going to go out on a limb and say that our big she imposter here is not quite going to get there. I mean, let's be real. Fire Ant. Did this really just happen? Why did this happen? Hero's name is a pun in Spanish? Alright, you got me. I don't know. What is happening right now? What's that big thing? This one? If you're asking about Mildred, ping Big She. Or just look earlier in this viewer game breakdown for Big She's game. You'll understand. Big She has puts on a clinic writing the textbook about Mildred. If you're not asking about Mildred, I don't know which one you're talking about. For the record, chat, these 2 panic points have been unclaimed this whole game to this point. Like, what is going on here? Ha! Lol. Bad guy has to suspect this, right? There's no chance that they don't suspect this. High five. Yeah, I 100% agree about bad guy doing questionable plays. So, like, this block here is not unreasonable if you already have Phobies committed for Heart Rush. So if you have a range guy where Gravedigger is, and then a melee guy where Maggie is, it's not insane. This is actually kind of cute, because our hero's going to have a difficult time dislodging that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're actually maxed out on Phobies, so our hero cannot commit anything else to fight this pterodactyl. They're down on life, but even panic points. As Mildred still has 2 turns to get into position. Okay, 1 turn. Because, yoink! Got him. Alright, down goes Gravedigger. Honestly, the sacrifice of Phobies by our hero here is appropriate. The reason being is that you can now free up slots to possibly help deal with this. The enemy kind of sabotaged himself to Heart Rush. Yeah, I don't really know what their game plan was. I, honest to God, have no idea what their game plan was. So the Mildred... Does the Mildred even kill this? The Mildred might not kill this. Okay, it did. I was going to say, depending on level, it might not be enough. Panic point advantage, bad guy, but funny story, that is a high five on the heart. That is a high five right next to your heart. Wham! Get bopped. Bad guy just absolutely getting bodied here. This is just literally... This is the stuff of nightmares. This is everyone's sleep paralysis demon. Remember when we were talking about sleep paralysis the other night, chat? This is your sleep paralysis demon. This should be the thumbnail. Real talk, Chad. Do you think this beats Ultra Rare Gaming as the thumbnail? I feel like I've had a Barzilla thumbnail. And I think Ultra Rare Gaming honestly would be better for the video because people click on it like, oh, look at all the Ultra Rares. But like, this is hilarious. What is happening? That would be the caption. What is happening? Anyway, I don't even know what's going on. There's 2 turns left in this game. Bad guy's about to get pooped on. When you stub your toe on something. Yo, Barzilla did not look like they were having fun there. That didn't look like a smile by any definition that I am aware of. Edit that in your gameplay thumbnail. I mean, I was going to use the one where it's just like 85 ultra rares on the board. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Maybe we put this to a vote in Discord. Maybe we put it to a vote in Discord. Look, if you just let high five annihilate your heart, yeah, alright, got him. GG. I don't even know what to say. Strahd coming at you. Exponential Decay. Everyone loves a good all-trap game. Are pistachios originally from America? I, honest to God, have no idea. I don't know if this is a lead-in for a D's Nuts joke. Like Onda, is this a D's nuts joke? Of all the people in my chat, I wouldn't expect a D's nuts joke out of Onda. Well, this feels like a setup to that. I don't know. Hey, what's good, Atona? Speaking of Atona, I feel like Atona would know the origin of pistachios. I don't know, Onda. Like, it's just such out of the blue question. Pistachios originated in Central Asia for what? See, I told you, I knew Atona would know. We're gonna Google that real quick. Where are pistachios originally from? The original, according to Google, the original homelands of the pistachio are Asia Minor, now Turkey, Iran, Syria, Lebanon, and a bit north to the southern Russia and Afghanistan. Interesting. They found evidence of pistachios at a dig site at Jerome near northeastern Iraq from as early as 6750 BC. Wow. Wow. It's an educational stream, chat. What can I tell you? I kind of knew that because I love pistachios. Like, I've talked about it before. I think I've actually had that on stream where, like, I'll devour a whole bag of pistachios. Don't do that. You will not feel good. I promise you. It's not going to feel good. But I love pistachios. I really do. Although, you know what they started making is, like, I'm eating it right now and the jar says 100% USA nuts, so is this a lie? Well, I mean, where those particular pistachios originated was from the USA, but, like, if you're talking about the entire lineage of pistachios, then, well, I guess not. Walnuts better than pistachios? False. That is literally incorrect. What's BC? I don't know if you're trolling me, W's. Change my mind? No. That if there's a big bag of pistachios, I'll eat them slowly without thinking about it. I don't know that I definitely eat them mindlessly, where it's just like, I'm just munching on it, and I'm doing other stuff. But the thing is, when you eat pistachios, like, if you're doing other things with your hands, like, say I'm writing something, or I'm trying to type, it's like, it clearly interrupts the other process. But I still don't consciously go, hey, I just ate like 4 fucking pounds of pistachios. This is not good. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh, this is not good. Yeah, BC is before Christ, so there's technically both BC and AD or have other more modern names, but it's supposed to be like before the birth of Christ. Very Christian-centric time measurement. You can never eat enough nuts? Heyo. Walnuts actually defend your lawn, pistachio doesn't, if you know the reference. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Yep, Atona is correct. Most people say after death is for the definition of AD. Boop! That was way louder than I intended, chat. Rip to anybody wearing headphones. So I have to ask for Strahd, who I don't think is in chat right now. Like, when they said trap gaming, I was expecting like way more trappers. Seemingly not. I'm not complaining, but like, I feel as though we were lied to. I think there's a pistachio in every PvZ. I also didn't know there was a PvZ 3. PvZ Heroes. Is that game even still live? Can you even play that game anymore? Because that's the card game, right? That Rambo is just dead, right? Is that worth it, chat? I don't know if that was worth it, the Rambo boop, but I guess it wasn't bad. You got the Cyclops. Did you get anything else off of that? No. It's even on keys here, but you did get some extra damage, so I guess maybe it's fine. AVZ Heroes is dead. That's what I thought. Thunder rocks. Thundering onto the battlefield. Bad guy not willing to risk the traps. Good placement here by Strahd. Notably not just, oops, the cowbell pops the trap. 11 keys to 6 remaining. Honestly, like, the lineup here feels relatively even, meaning that our hero is at an advantage because they have a larger bank of keys. And of course, they can immediately slam something enormous because all 11 are available. Hey, Hydrums, what's good? Bad guy, if they want to come in here, obviously is going to catch these hands, and by these hands, I mean these traps. Does Baba Yaga have hands in Phobies? I mean, yeah, the Baba Yaga in the myth has hands, but like... Does Baba Yaga... Can Baba Yaga shapeshift into a bird? I thought she just appeared as, like, an old lady in the actual myths. We were talking about the Baba Yaga myth the other night. Yep, there are hands. There are hands. The idle animation shows that it lifts, so there are hands. Never mind. Asked and answered. Watching games? Yep. We're watching viewer games tonight. We actually got to watch a lot because there were relatively quick games. 6 keys to 2 keys. Primate? That's a phobie. Notably, not a C-based phobie, but does have spots. Who knew? Probably anyone who's ever looked at the Primate model. Alright, so we're getting 1 trap activation. Are we going to get 2? Show me 3 traps! 3 traps! Oh my god, no. Bad guy. Holy. Oh, baby. Boom! Got him. You know what's funny? This freaking Blulian lived. The Blulian lived. How bad does that gotta feel? Yo, that guy is mad. That guy is mad. That is a lot of damage. You know what's funny is, like, it's Gator and Hevo, so there's an enormous amount of HP to try and chew through. But, like, could you not have killed the Gator? I feel like the Gator is what you want to kill here. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. That guy's dead for sure. Yeah, they've had a bad day. They had a bad day. He did it to himself. Look, you brought this on yourself. At some point, you just kind of have to accept, like, you got me. This is what I do in these sort of scenarios. It's like, all right, you got me. I'm just going to send in these things. They had a Baba Haha day. I guess do you see the Baba Yaga bird face in the idol? Or is it just in the attack? Because maybe it's like a spell. You know what I mean? Like, it's still the normal Baba Yaga from the myth, but just the attack animation is the bird-looking thing. I don't know. I don't know. GG. Just randomst. Just random stuff. Coming back at you. Opticon. This map's not in the pool anymore. Right? What can I say, bro? Just through the game. Since there's no commas in that statement, it's just, never mind. Whatever. I don't care. We're not going to critique grammar here. I think async might be more for mobile players. Async is just a different game mode. Yes, that is the most obvious statement ever. Like, all right, Captain Obvious. Yes, duh. But it's just a different game mode. You could say it's for mobile. Yeah, it's probably better for mobile. But it's also, some people just prefer that gameplay pattern, gameplay loop. Some people don't want to have the timer stress. I do. I prefer that because I think it forces, obviously, quicker thinking. It forces certain strategies. It encourages... Because ultimately, if you can sit there and map out every perfect move every turn, the game can reach a solved state. That individual game, not like Phobies as a whole, much more quickly. Oh, by the way, Creepy Devil. Hashtag got him. Ouchtown Population Cat. This is a level 7 Creepy Devil. Little under level compared to the things surrounding it, but... It's 26 turns, so we can do 1, 2, or 3. We might only get 1. It depends on how long this takes, because I'm closing up in like 15 minutes. I don't like Arena because of long matchmaking times. It's actually not that bad for the most part. Depending on the time of the season, like it could be like 5 to 10 seconds. Once I start knocking on the door of Sum of All Fears 3, which I usually do, and I kind of, like... That was just a regular attack, right? Yeah, it had to have been, because you moved and did that. I don't, like, actively try and lose to stay out of Sum of All Fears 3, but I'm not pushing to get there because I don't want to risk increased queue times. Because naturally it's going to, because the game has to assume that I only have, like, it's going to try to pair against other Sum of All 3 first and then expand over time. And that is worse for the stream. Because if I'm sitting in queue just staring at it, like, that's less interesting than playing the game, right? Big She, are you still in chat? I don't like Arena. I prefer async games since I do lots of them. Yeah, and that's fine. Like, if you like one game mode or not, that's how it works. I'd like to have another game reviewed in my other account for the last game. I mean, we probably won't get that one. There's still one person who we haven't done yet tonight. Arena is annoying when people decide to troll and taunt instead of winning. That doesn't happen that often. It is annoying, but it doesn't happen that often. So staring at the match queue screens while you don't stream DC Dual Force, I've streamed that every week for like the last month and a half. But are the queues real bad now, Atona? Alright, getting back to it. Spiders coming down. This is still an invis. I love how it makes faces at you while it's invisible. That is absolutely absurd. If we didn't have those other thumbnails, this might be good. Why is there a Charon? This had to be for the event. Like, why else would you put Charon on the board right now? This makes no sense. Chat, we've had like 5 Barzillas tonight. We've had like 5 Barzillas tonight. This thing's gonna drop out of Invis on its own. Creepy Devil have mocking idol. Yeah, it's like, I mean, obviously they're not going to create another idol animation, but it's just funny because it's making a face, but it's invisible. They can't even see that you're mocking them. Yeah, I don't think the queue times in DC Dual Force are bad, at least when I played, but to be honest, I haven't played since the new patch. Sizzle! Chat, we haven't seen this come up. Honestly, I like the baby snaky model. I don't like fiery hair, ear hair. I know it's a Cobra hood. It just looks like it's old man ear hair. I don't like it. I just don't like it. It's funny you haven't played since the new patch and they're patching it on Tuesday. Well, they're supposed to be doing weekly patches now, right? We're talking about DC Dual Force. We're not talking about Phobies for anybody watching this later. Yeah, Creepy Devil was just a big threat here. Oh, so he gets a different attack animation, too. It's not the bite, it tail whips you. You motherfucker, now I can't unsee it. Well, there are several things you can't unsee after I've talked about. Like, the Creepy Devil one is always, like... I want it to look like a warthog, but I can't unsee the face. Was that a bite of 87? What? Yeah, the Alt Art Lex looks pretty cool. I did see that they were adding that stuff, but I'm more concerned with, like, what bug fixes and what balance passes, rather, they're doing than... I mean, it's nice to get that other stuff, but I don't care. I don't even change the card backs most of the time. Hero getting tagged by the sheep. Creepy Devil going down. Creepy Devil got multiple hits in, but... Why is there a Squiggles? This has to be... Like, the Charon and the Squiggles have to be for the event, right? There's no other explanation. If they don't fix the sack bug and the Shazam bug, people are going to riot. I don't blame them. It's like... It completely ruins those cards. Quick pick here on the Klepto. This is actually a really good play. You can even get the bite from the Snowball. You don't have to burn the Fireball. It's pretty hype. You're also going to get the heal here if you have room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Nope, no room. I was going to say, if you have room, you could Muffin, but... 4 keys remaining to 2. Sizzle gets a second hit. Spider going to pay for with its life, but ultimately bad guy's going to take a beating here. Now, admittedly, Hero's down to below half health. I guess the opponent is just clowning around. Ah! 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 Got him. I like to play with words. As does chat, apparently. Shout out to Steven. Bad guy, what? Why? Oh, I 100% agree with that, Atona. If something's bugged that bad, and again, we're talking about DC Dual Force, we're not talking about Phobies here. Although, I guess it would apply to Phobies too, if this were to occur. If there was a Phobie that was bugged in such a way that it... Like, it's clearly broken, right? Like, the Phobie's not working as intended. And that it produces a game state that, like, is strategy defining. Like, for example, let's say you transformed Gargles. And then Gargles never transformed back because it was bugged. I'm just making this up. This is not a real thing. I would want the devs to disable Gargles until it was fixed. 2,700 health. It's a lot of orange panic points, including a slimed blue one up here, but... Honestly, I think you leave the Gravedigger there so that you force that... Like, they could have taken this panic point, but there is a trap, so maybe that it's just the... It doesn't really matter, like... This game, realistically, is over. Well, I guess it's good that I haven't been playing that game, Atona, because that sounds miserable. Hey, Taylor, what's good? And then there were 2. Who would have thought that it was going to be just these 2? Well played. Yeah, I kind of agree that they threw the game there. Just random. Can't really disagree with that. It happens. GG. Kratosss back in the saddle. Biff's room. First game after a while, taking old Baba for a spin. We got multiple Baba Yaga games tonight. Doing as much of the event as possible. It's worth getting it done. Get it in while you can. Again, content affiliate. I did buy the VIP pass for the last 2 events. They didn't give it to me. I actually paid for it with dollars and cents out of my bank account. And I think they're good value. I think they're good value, and it's worth doing. So, my 2 cents on the subject. But as mentioned, Kratosss, our hero here, going to put on a clinic, presumably with Baba Yaga. Kratosss, very much a Baba Yaga enjoyer from past game breakdowns. It's been a while since we had a Kratosss game. You know, it's fantastic having a free draw 2 every turn. A character that can attack multiple times a turn is indestructible on its turn, and you can't attack. Lel. Yeah, that seems pretty good. I have to wait next Sunday to have my second game. Yep. Yeah, I try not to double up on any given person's game to get the highest quantity of people each game breakdown night. Because otherwise, we have had in the past where, you know, somebody, because they just happen to have a good streak and they have like 90 games that they submitted, and it doesn't feel really fair to do, all right, I'm going to do 15 games of Jim Bob Cooter and then no games of anybody else because they've filled up the sheet. Just wish I had more Phobies to use all the extra resources on. To be honest, having a low collection width, like you don't have that many Phobies, isn't necessarily bad, because then you can get those Phobies up to a really high level. The problem is you may get sick of using them, because if you over-level people, especially at a low stress level, just because like you have really high level whatevers, you could shoot up the ranks real quick and then be like kind of trapped into using them. $7 for 1,400 coffee, at least it sounds like a deal, if you're willing to spend the money. If you're 100% free to play, which there are a lot of people out there in that position, I mean, you're stuck. What are you going to do? But even on the free track, there's a decent amount of stuff on there. All right, so Bad Guy is playing this very cautiously, and they're going to get punished for this. You can't let trap, like, look at, there's 4 traps on the board already, and these are significant traps. These are significant traps. Our hero also notably leaving a space open, 7 keys, 10 keys total to 9, but Bad Guy's maxed out. They are going to have something die before they can commit another phobie to the board, and they're down on panic points. What level is the Baba? That's a level 10 Baba. Level 10 Baba actually pushes some damage on these traps. All right, this is a weird one. This is kind of a weird one. I feel as though Kratosss could have gone for something more intimidating. I love deals in games where you have to kind of work on it, but you get a huge value for what you spend. I see it from both sides. Oh, good Baba hit. There is the Clinico. It is ready to heal, but I imagine this is just a dead Jin Sting right now. Oh, you're going to go for the jar. All right, fair. Yeah, you might not have been worth it going for the, Oh, man, this is going to be brutal. This is just begging for Bad Guy to walk into these traps. And Bad Guy is going to have a bad day. This is not going to end well. Now, Bad Guy does have a space freed up. They can get a 1 key, either to activate the traps, to reclaim points, whatever it happens to be. Oh, baby. First trap going. Ah! Oh, they're going to break it. I thought they were going to stop just to not get hit, but it was so they could break this. This is relevant for Bad Guy because it opens up way more positioning. A rocket, man! Somebody summon Luffy. Somebody summon Luffy. Gesundheit going to be sacrificed. Ah, Luffy is here. We get Starro the Conqueror. Oh, baby, look at that. Juicy. Mmm. Get frozen, nerd. Get frozen, nerd. the trap just for add insult to injury. I don't know if bad guy is just throwing in the towel here. Leaving the Clinico here, but whatever, they're just dead. The boom probably finishes off the stabby. This is just the systematic destruction of bad guy. Double kill. Seems good. I don't know. That seems pretty good. That seems like it worked out all right. I should write that down as an opener for this map. In all seriousness, like, what was that? It was a turn 2 Baba Yaga, or was it turn 3? No, it had to have been turn 3, because it was 1 key Corn into 1 key into Baba Yaga, I think was what it was. I gotta keep that in mind. I wonder if that works on Lights Out. I wonder if that works on Lights Out. Everybody's just burning their points. There are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in the queue for next week. There are a couple, a couple of double ups, so technically only 6 games. But we'll see what we get by next week. If you're interested in getting your own games here on stream or on YouTube, depending on where you're watching this, hit up the RandomSt Discord. The link for that is, of course, in the description. You probably saw the lower thirds throughout this video saying like and subscribe and follow, because help me out with those. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. Still trying to make that push. Tomorrow we have variety. What are we playing? I don't know. Right now I'm leaning towards a couple of different things, but let me know what you're interested in seeing besides Phobies, or do you just want to see more Phobies content, and let me know what you want to see for that. As I mentioned earlier, we are gearing up for Fright Night in September. That is right now tentatively planned for the middle of the month, I believe. Let me check the calendar real quick. Game plan right now is the 16th and 17th. We're going to be doing full Phobies. Everything's legal, level 1 only. Swiss format. I was toying around with double a limb, but I think we're just going to do Swiss. Maybe that'll change, but right now that's the game plan. Sign-ups for that will be in my Discord, and then ultimately in the main Phobies Discord. But that's going to do it for tonight, so as always, everybody, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and Black Lives Matter.